So we have marketing data, we have sales data, we have finance data, we have all of these transactions. And again, even if you just look at the UAE market alone, there's hundreds of thousands of transactions happening. Without bringing that data together, it's just noise.
Omar, thank you so much for being with us today. And we'd like to introduce you. You are a Chief Information Officer. We're aware that you've worked in different government sectors in the Middle East. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience specifically in the real estate sector?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. I work as an advisor really to business leaders, CIOs, and in particular technology leaders, and have worked extensively in government, particularly around the real estate sector. And that in Dubai actually is quite interesting because real estate here is not just about buildings. Mm-hmm. It's about the vision that Dubai has. So, we have worked together with leaders of large companies in Saudi, for example, NEOM, here in Dubai with Emaar and various others, and really to help their leaders take technology and use it as a catalyst to achieve the vision that Dubai wants to achieve around communities, connected societies, smart buildings, smart cities. And so my role has always been to bridge the gap between the business and technology. And business being customer experience, operational excellence, as well as governance and compliance, not just about making money. So it's really about how you put all that together. And that's what I do. I advise on those topics.
So can you tell us about some of the tech challenges the industry faces specifically in the real estate sector?
I think the biggest challenge I've seen is fragmented systems. They use a number of systems to do lots of things and they're not connected. Mm-hmm. The example I would probably use is that of the Dubai skyline. You've got all these beautiful towers, and in their own right, they're great, they're functional. But unless they're connected, and we've connected them in Dubai, right, using roads and bridges and tunnels and everything to make communities. So we've connected residential with commercial and various other things. Likewise, in a company, particularly residential, particularly real estate companies, systems are usually very specialized. So you have a special system for maintenance, you have a special system for leasing, you have a special system for sales. And what's normally missing is the connection between them. So that fragmented systems is one of the biggest things. If you think about it, imagine a marketing organization within a real estate company marketing to millions of people, and the sales organization is not connected with that data. They're going to be selling to people that marketing are not marketing to, or the other way around. Likewise, if the leasing department or the finance department is not connected with the sales, they're not going to be able to provide the right kind of offers and packages. So it's all about bringing these systems together. That's one of the biggest challenges. The other one is really to balance the need of speed with compliance. Real estate, again, moves very fast, particularly here in the region. So they want to react quickly, want to be able to sell quickly, transact quickly. But it's also the biggest purchase somebody would ever make in their life. So it's got to be done safely, securely, compliant, and lots of processes around land registry and certifications and all sorts. So balancing that need for speed with compliance, again, through fragmented systems, makes it a huge problem. And the last thing is the amount of data that gets generated. So we have marketing data, we have sales data, we have finance data, we have all of these transactions. And again, even if you just look at the UAE market alone, there's hundreds of thousands of transactions happening. Without bringing that data together, it's just noise, and you can't use it. And so those are the three key challenges, really.
Thanks, Omar, for the interesting insights. I do agree with some of the challenges that you have enlightened us with in the industry. Let's talk about data silos, fragmented data. Absolutely, bang on. This is one of the challenges that we hear from CIOs like you from the real estate industry often. Now, how do we address this, right? You have to unify the data with a single platform. Actually, with the advancements in the technology, it should be a lot easier to consolidate data from different applications also, but it is always better to have a unified system, everything under one platform. For example, imagine a situation where your financial data, your operational data related to your sales, leasing, customer service, as well as facilities management, everything under one umbrella. Let's say the technology could be Microsoft. And the assurance that Microsoft is giving us is, they are giving the enterprise scaled data security, being the data on Azure. That gives you an advantage, and the data being trusted by the businesses, that will help you to take decisions faster, as well as help you to take the decisions confidently.
So Going off of what Mr. Shakir just mentioned, how important do you feel it is to have a unified single platform versus specialized multiple systems?
Good question. And I think with real estate, like other sectors, specialist systems are important. But what companies sometimes do is get carried away with having too many specialized systems and not bringing them together in a unified system. Particularly with real estate. For example, you need to know your customer. That is the main foundation of you doing business. So if you've marketed to the customer, you've sold to the customer, you've provided a lease to the customer, you're doing maintenance for the customer, you're taking money from a customer, you're supporting the customer, everything is about the customer. So a unified system allows you to transform from being department-centric to customer-centric. So absolutely, unified systems are extremely important.
So Omar, given your expertise, what is the role of AI in modernizing legacy systems in government and in real estate?
It's a great buzzword, AI. It has been around for a long time, by the way. And it really means getting the right information, doing something with that information, and coming up with a result that's more intelligent than just a report. Microsoft has been doing this for a very long time, by the way, which is great. Now AI is being used for, first of all, automating tasks. So things which are repeatable tasks, rather than have 10 people do them, and AI can do them in minutes and seconds, as opposed to weeks. The other thing that AI does very well is predict issues. So when you start to learn about a certain problem and learn about certain communities, particularly in the real estate sector, for example, air conditioning units are becoming faulty because the airflow is being reduced, and AI can actually pick this up early on and save a lot of maintenance issues, and also save energy and costs in terms of running those systems. And I guess the last thing that AI does very well is it can sit on top of legacy systems as well. So it can actually pull data from existing systems and make those systems smarter.
Yes, Mr. Omar, you touched based upon a very important buzzword. So today, Microsoft introduces Copilot into the mainstream workloads like Copilot for sales, Copilot for customer service, Copilot for finance. This is where it is driving real value for the business users, bringing AI to address their challenges in their workplace in and day out, not as a top layer sitting working as a bot, which was the case in, let's say, 4 to 5 years ago. But in today's world, Microsoft has really upped the game of AI adoption with Microsoft Copilot, and we at Into also are following the same pattern or the pathway. We bring in AI first approach into building our own products also, say Property 365, or embedding Property 365 with Copilot, so that our users take advantage of the faster responses, predictive analysis, as well as grow with confidence with AI.
It's a great point, Shakir. When AI is used tactically, everyone does that today. With ChatGPT, for example, they'll just write a little question, get an answer, and that's it. But now Microsoft has embedded Copilot, I know, in these products, which is amazing because now you see the entire sales, marketing, customer service journey across the entire industry, across the real estate processes, and everything is intelligent. And I get that. That's what makes it so much more powerful.
What do you think are the top concerns your clients have regarding data security and governance?
So data is a big thing here in the Middle East. In fact, in every country. Europe introduced GDPR, for example. America has its own data protection rules. One of the most important things here is data residency. Jurisdiction is very important, particularly for government real estate. They don't want sensitive data, people's names, bank details, KYC information going outside of the UAE. And again, that's quite nicely addressed by some of the major tech players here anyway. So that's one thing. Second is access to data. So one of the problems that most companies have is there's so much data and everyone has access to it. And what we need to be able to do is profile that data. So a sales director has director level information, the CEO can drill down all across. Individual sales agents only see their territory and their sales. Marketing sees data relevant to them. So that classification of data and doing that role-based access, again, which I know some of the major players do really well. So, and the third thing is resilience, security. So what happens when things fail? We're so dependent on data now, but what happens if it fails? You mentioned earlier about Microsoft and trust. And this is why a lot of companies, particularly the real estate sector, actually go with Microsoft, is because they can trust the platform, they can trust the data, they can trust the security. It's already inbuilt into their solutions.
So Omar, how much of the IT team's budget and time is spent on the integrated systems?
IT budgets, most of it, almost 70% typically, across, I've worked across a number of industries, in the real estate sector particularly, 70% is spent on maintaining existing systems, existing operations, making sure patchwork, making sure the integrations are working, fixing bugs. all those things, which actually leaves very little room for innovation. And this is something that companies struggle with. And again, in my role as an advisor, I do advise them on going for a solution which is going to be tried and tested. We know it works, we know it's secure. So you actually spend less time and money maintaining that, and you have more of a budget left over for continuous improvement, building on things and innovation. Otherwise, you'll end up being stale with regards to technology and transformation.
So today, the Copilot capabilities are available within Property 365, and we can use extensive capabilities of Microsoft Copilot Studio to develop further capabilities also. And Microsoft technology maintains enterprise-grade compliance, be it region-specific, let's say authority-specific, or industry-specific.
Thank you, Shaka. That's very interesting. It's great to see Property 365 as a product built on the CRM platform that Microsoft has, because a lot of companies trust Microsoft, which is great. And you pointed out all of the things that any real estate organization and also government sector really do need. So it's very good to hear that.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Omar. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to staying in touch.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Shaka, thank you.
Insights, Omar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.